Hi, I'm Aaron, a graduate of University of the Arts in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've got my BFA in drawing and painting, and today I'm going to show you how to draw portraits in colored pencil. You'll need a good pencil sharpener that's capable of handling colored pencils. Alright, so to start with, you're going to have a basic and kind of vague general outline of the face, of the few details, letting you know where things are going to be placed later on. So we're going to start with where we'll have the chin, and wherever you're going to have the eyes, send a line across. It's going to be about halfway through the top, from the top of the head to the chin. And if you want, you can measure that with your utensil. Placing it there, the top of the head actually will be above the page, so that's about correct. The nose is about halfway between the eyes and the chin. And now, with the same exact pencil, or a similar value that you started your gesture lines, we're going to begin shading. So what you're doing is finding any areas of shadow, any general patches, and you're just bringing them out. Probably your greatest points of shading will be around the eyes, under the nose, the mouth to some degree, and under the chin. The mouth is generally 1/3 of the way up from the nose to the bottom of the chin. So you count out your 3 spaces, and it's the top third. That is usually where the mouth will be placed on most figures. So I'm going to switch values and color. Kind of as I had the loose crosshatch in one way, now I'm going to start in the opposite direction, opposing it. With each heavier level of shading, value, and color, the one under will, to some extent, disappear. It'll become quieter. And one thing about the mouth is that the top lip, unless the bust is underlit, will always be darker than the bottom lip. And that's just because the planes of the lip rotate in space in a way that makes the top lip darker, as it's facing downward generally. Every now and then, if you feel yourself getting too tight and focusing on one area, just broaden up and literally start sweeping your pencil across the page. The eyes themselves can be a tricky form, and the best way to take them on is to just imagine them as 2 round spheres that are right inside of the eye sockets. So what you're doing with that information is just remembering to build up the shading just as you would if you were drawing a sphere. And also keep in mind at this stage that you don't want a dark line showing the outline of the contour of the face. If you do need to throw in some dark lines, keep them hatch lines. A nice way to make an image of a portrait, say, seem more spontaneous, is to have the outside information, such as the hair and clothes, a little bit more vague than the actual face you're drawing. What that will do is literally highlight the focus that you're placing on capturing the features. I'm going to switch to 1 tone darker, bringing out the final features. Yet another good trick on the eyes, to avoid too hollow-looking pinpoints that are the pupils, is to actually shade in the top of the iris before you draw the pupil. To help you remind yourself where your darkest tones are in a figure of a portrait, you can blur your eyes a little bit, but just by losing focus. And if that's not something that you are able to do, squint a little bit and you'll see the darkest and lightest tones. Alright, well, we've got a portrait of George Washington in colored pencil. This has been Aaron Wemmer, showing you how to draw portraits in colored pencil.